Who makes the best steak on the internet? It wasn't Gordon. It isn't Jamie Oliver. Could it be Guga Foods?
Oh, God damn it!
Recently, actually, one of you pointed out to me that Guga has his own instruction video on how to cook steaks. And the irony is that that is under the video that we made about Gordon Ramsay. But honestly, if I look at Guga Foods' videos and I look at the way he cooks the steak, wow, it looks delicious. But he never actually shows us the details of how he cooks that steak. And I never knew and always wondered until one of you pointed out to me how he does it. 3 years ago, Guga made this video showing us exactly how he cooks his steak.
Guga, can you one day do a food tutorial on how you cook a steak?
Today is the day.
Usually we have B-rolls and beautiful shots of music and steaks being cooked, but I never really explained my method. And today you're gonna find out one of the reasons why my steak is better than most people. First things we need to go over is the tools that you're gonna be using. And my very first tool is the grill. Now the grill is important because I like to have two different zones. We have the cold zone and the hot zone.
He just almost skipped over that, but that's a very important part. So let's set up the barbecue. I will be using the Napoleon Kettle Grill Pro. It's my trusty barbecue and it's been with me for many years. I'm going to start by putting in some bricks to make a divider. On one side I'm going to put briquettes and charcoal, and that's going to be my hot zone. The other zone is going to be the cold zone. I'm going to light it up with a couple of fire starters and let the charcoal burn down until it's completely screaming hot. And while the grill is heating up, you and me are going to take a look at the steak that I'm using. We all know Guga either takes something really special or something really crazy. And of course, I couldn't just show up with any steak. I needed something special. So I went to Hanos van de Zee, which is basically the restaurant butcher for the Netherlands. And together with them, we were able to cut out specific cuts. And one in particular stands out. Yep. This is Bife di Tira. And basically you're going to take half of a cow and cut out the loin. And from the loin you're going to cut slices, long strips. And that's going to give you the most beautiful steak you've ever seen, called Bife di Tira.
Now here's the deal. If you put inside of the grill, it will come out of the grill.
I think we got that covered. This is not beep.
This grill is super hot. Look, it's already smoking. Because it's smoking, if I put my steak here right now, it will burn. I don't want it to burn, so I'm gonna quickly rotate it. It's on the other side, and put my steaks right there.
I've got cast iron grill grates, unlike Guga has, and that means they retain a lot of heat. So I put them in after I warmed up the barbecue, so they're completely cold at the moment. And what Guga tells us to do is just straight up start cooking, so you're not gonna get that sizzle and sear from a hot grill grate. So let's go. Funny thing that I actually just discovered is that my steak actually has 4 sides instead of 2. I gotta get all 4 sides with a beautiful crust. Well, basically it's 3 because the other one is a fat cap.
I'm going to rotate my grill grate. I am going to flip the steak back to this side. Now I started getting a little bit of char already because this thing is super hot.
I'm gonna do exactly what Guga tells me to do, and that's rotate my grill grates. So there we go, rotate the grill grates, and then use the cold side for the grilling part. And that way, hopefully, I'm going to get exactly the same beautiful crust that he has.
What I like to do is just remove that char. I don't want any char right now because I'm looking for a golden.
So he's going really fast and hot, but he doesn't want a char. It's a kind of a contradiction, but I do see what he wants. He wants that crust to build up, and he needs the heat because he needs to get rid of the moisture on the outside of the steak. The rotating of the steak, that might be the trick. He keeps his grill grate coals at all times by rotating it, flipping it. I'm flipping and turning, and I'm rotating the grill grate, making sure that I don't burn the steak on the outside. But as you can see, it is extremely hot and we're going really fast. And that's why Guga has another trick up his sleeve.
It's great. I'm going to be using a compound butter to baste them on top of them. There's not enough fat. For that, I'm going to use a combination of a good quality butter together with my rub. All I do is mix a little bit on there, and just like a compound butter.
He actually uses butter for basting. The butter for basting, that might be a genius thing. That's why I got a pack of butter. I'm gonna put a little bit of the PitmasterX barbecue seasoning on because I don't have Guga seasoning, but I'm pretty sure that mine will do the job just as well. Things are going really fast, so I'm just gonna Take that butter and brush it on with the steak not directly over the fire, since I really like my eyebrows. And when I get flare-ups, I'm just gonna do what Guga does, and that is take the steak off. Or at least transfer it to the colder side.
This is what you want. Nice golden brown color. Get over here, Andrew. You can see, this is our lunch, by the way. Starting to flare up too much now. I don't like it. I'm gonna spin my grate, leave it right there. Give it a second. If things starts getting a little bit out of hand, step back, let things cool down a little bit. Right now, I am not trying to cook the steak. I know it sounds weird, right? But I'm not cooking it. I'm trying to get a nice crust. I mean, let me show this to Andrew. I mean,
so basically, all he does is keeps working on his crust. Work on the crust, work on the crust. Keep doing all these things. So basically high heat, but keep the grill grates cold. Just keep pushing, scrape out any char if there's any. So far we learned how Guga builds up a crust, adds flavor on the outside, but does not cook the steak. So let's continue to see how he does that.
I mean, take a look at that, Angel. Is it sexy or what? Oh, it's sexy. He's hungry, everybody.
Oh, it's sexy. Does my steak look as good as his? Very close though. So if I can replicate it, that means that the method works.
In indirect heat, which I'm looking for an internal temperature of 135 degrees Fahrenheit.
57 degrees Celsius? Wow, that is medium rare.
Now we're gonna let them cook until they reach the temperature, and then we're gonna chop them up.
I don't wanna go that far. That can never be, because that would be overcooked. I'm gonna go for 52 degrees Celsius core temperature. So I'm gonna put them over indirect heat and dial the barbecue down to a temperature of around 120 degrees Celsius smoking temperatures, so the steak comes up to temperature slowly. Something not discussed in the video, but I think is important to point out, and it's really tough. I'm trying for about half an hour now to get that barbecue down to temperature, and it's really tough because we got so much fuel in this barbecue that it just keeps going on. Even if I shut it down completely, normally it would just stop and kill everything. There is just too much heat build up in this barbecue. But I see Guga doing something that he doesn't really point out in the video, but you see him do it, but it's not very clear. So what he does is actually takes the steak out, lets it rest, gives it a bit of time, does something else, and kind of plays with the amount of time that the steak is on the grill. So it's going slower than it actually normally would. I got mine on the grill right now and it's going a lot faster than I want to do. And that comes down to the point where you would normally use the reverse sear method. That first you cook the steak to the temperature that you want it, and then you sear it. So you don't have the problem of the grill being too hot. But I'm just gonna do what Guga does, and I'm just gonna regularly take out the steak and slowly let it come up to temperature. And I got a little trick to keep in control of that. Just watch this. So I got my butter here for basting, by the way, same that Guga does it. Keep on basting that steak, it's gonna be delicious. Then I'm just gonna take my thermometer, and I'm using a core thermometer, and just gonna measure the core temperature, and I see that I got 54 in the core, and the outside is 55. So that means that this steak is now at the temperature that I need it to be. The way that I measure it is putting the probe in the core, measure the temperature there, and then slowly pull it back. So what I do want to see is the temperature a little bit lower on the outside, and if I see it coming close, like 48 degrees Celsius, I'm just pulling the steak off, let it rest a little bit so that the heat from the outside draws into the center of the steak, and warming it up. And then when it stops going up, I just put it back on the grill until it's completely done cooking. And of course the resting part, but how long should you let it rest? Well, here the same thing applies. You're just gonna stick in that thermometer and go down, and then what is it reading? 52 in the core. Just gonna pull that up. And when the outside is the same as the core temperature of the steak, then you know your steak is done resting. Okay. This is actually really good. Let me put it this way. This steak is 10 times better than the Gordon Ramsay pan steak. So if you wondered, now we know, at least it looks 10 times better. Let's give it a taste test, right? That is a beautiful crust. Juicy, succulent meat throughout. This is exactly the way I want my steak to taste. But I also like to point out that Guga makes it look easier than it actually is because, well, you have to kind of fiddle with it and work with it and keep your eye on it and control the temperatures, and you really have to put some skill into cooking that steak to perfection like Guga does. And luckily mine turned out really good, but that doesn't mean every steak is going to turn out perfect. So it's not a foolproof method. You really have to use all the skills that you have. But use the reverse sear method first, and then once you learn that, then maybe skip to this one. And the butter. I love the butter. That's really good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I sure did. See you guys in the next one. Until then, eet smakelijk and keep on grilling.